Mary, what would you say has been the most surprising thing that you've learned about safety with all those interviews that you've done?
So this is, it's about safety, but it's about everything. It's the fact that everything I learned about safety taught me more about content strategy. And I took that further and thought, well, if you think about it, all professions have some of the same basic underlying concepts. Everyone needs to persuade, everyone needs to communicate, everyone needs to, and so, relate to each other. That just the stuff that I learned, I thought I was learning about safety, but I was learning about universal concepts that underlie just about everything, right? So one of my things that I've come away with is that creativity and innovation come from unexpected connections. That was an unexpected connection. And so I think, and I asked Andrea Baker about books that she recommended, and she said, honestly, anything except safety. And I thought,
Steve, that sounds familiar, my friend.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
At the time I thought, oh, okay, but it's absolutely, it makes perfect sense to me that you learn so much from something you think isn't connected to something else. So if you want to learn more about safety, read about psychology and history and astronomy and who knows, right?
Yeah. You know, Mary, I just read a book recently. I just read a book recently about what the dead can teach us about living. And I was going through it and I was like, oh my God, like there's so much of this stuff is actually relatable to safety. But I'll bore you about that. I'll bore you with that another time. But yeah, it was really interesting that I read a book about dying and I could thought, how does it teach me how to be a better safety person?
But Steve, you've been reading stuff on like, stand-up comedy, engagement. Andrew Barrett always talks about marketing. They're essential skills for safety professionals. So that's a great call out, Mary, that, don't just look at the technical aspects or your own role, venture out, look at these other writings or other categories. Look, I
recently read a book about Barcelona Football Club as well. And when I was reading that, I was like, oh my, like, this is the stuff that we should be reading. This is the literature that we should be taking to the safety school and let people understand all about culture and building excellence. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, Mark Alston recommends reading about the All Blacks, like supports Australia, but read about the All Blacks and that team, that mentality, and that push for number one. So thank you very much, Mary. Look,